Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I had a viewer ask if I would do a read about the Premier of Victoria, Australia. His name is Daniel Andrews, and I replied that I'd be happy to for a couple of reasons. First of all, not that I know him personally, or even have heard that much about him, which is always kind of interesting to see what the universe has to say when it's truly information that's new to the reader. I have to say, when I looked him up, I did like I had done previously, and I started with Wikipedia, which, please, since I've said I start there, don't take that as an endorsement. It's just a jumping off point. And I'm sharing the screen so you can see his page. And I got to tell you, I want to like the guy. Look, he hasn't paid for caps. I mean, that's a point in his favor right there, right? Of course, then I read that he's a socialist, and you know what they say about socialism? Well, it works great till someone runs out of a means of paying for it. But isn't that true of many political structures? I mean, over time, I can see why our founding fathers wanted political service to be a very time-limited type of thing, because career politicians, it's hard to do that and maintain your integrity. I would hazard a guess that there are few, if any, career politicians who would truly stand up under the spotlight of an integrity search, especially a universal one. But I'm hoping it could happen, right? There's got to be a few out there. So anyway, and another point in Mr. Andrews' favor, while he and his some of his representatives have done some negotiating with the People's Republic of China, they also built into those agreements the ability to step out of them if those agreements weren't in the best interest of Victoria. And I thought, wow, okay, that's looking good. Anyway, I'm going to stop the share. You can read all about him if you want to. Tonight, we're just going to, since I didn't have a specific concern that my viewer had shared with me, they just asked me to look at him. We are going to respectfully ask the universe what the universe wants us to know about the life and career of Daniel Andrews, the current Premier in Victoria, Australia. Okay, I'll keep it simple. I'm going to switch the camera so you can watch me do a little more of my inept shuffling. That's why I do so much off camera, so that if they get mixed up and the energy is fresh. One moment. Okay, Daniel Andrews, this is what the universe has to share about you. Okay. You've got some, who doesn't though, some lies and secrets going on. And we're asking about the situation of your career and life. And you are at a turning point in your career, possibly in your personal life too. I tend to think this is more career. I'll explain as we go. And one of the things I had read in Wikipedia was that you were cited a couple of times during COVID lockdowns for not having a mask and following the very mandates that you were enforcing. And once someone starts thinking the rules don't apply to them, they're getting into troubled water, which will also come up. Anyway, the Hierophant While the Hierophant can be about knowledge and information, it's also within the bounds of from what structures want to teach us: organized religion, Big Brother, what have you. And that is showing up very strongly on your timeline here. Now, you have the opportunity to move out of troubled waters. So it's telling me whatever is going on with you, it's not quite set in stone yet. So let's see what's happening, because this card is about caring for the innocent and moving away from troubled waters. So Mr. Andrews, if you've recently been compromised or what have you, come clean with your constituents and lead that life, public and private, of integrity that so many of us want from people that we ask to lightly and ethically represent us. Now, I say that because the near future card, we've got the devil showing up, and the devil to me is about a lot of temptations. And that's why I think maybe you're in a bind. Maybe you've hit, like I said, a compromising situation. We do know that when people are trying to sway someone from a path of light, that is one of their main tactics. Okay. Now, so then we got some cards that provide us with some further information or clarity. The Four of Cups can be, yes, it can signify some boredom, but it can also signify that you're missing an opportunity. So maybe it's that chance to be that rare politician that comes on TV and bears his soul and asks for support while he faces a challenge. That would be awesome. And the secondary one is the Knight of Pentacles, which is a stability card and a dependability card and a prudent action card. So while the Devil card, being a major arcana, is very, very strong, what the power of that card can be mitigated by your choices and your actions. And what I want to say is all is not lost. Now, I'm going to pull two more cards and I haven't seen them. And we'll see what further clarification we have about Mr. Andrews. These last two cards, the Queen of Pentacles. She is about satisfaction, and it's a good card. It's also, with all these cards showing up, besides the Wheel of Fortune, but we have, these are coming up, these are leadership positions. So Mr. Andrews' political career is not at an end. It is at a juncture, and maybe that juncture is a very private one until we did this read tonight. But the King of Swords is about truth. So I think, once again, the universe is saying, come clean, be honest. Your career's not over, and change that comes can be very, very good. And shedding the light on darkness is never a bad thing to do. And so that's what I'm getting from this read. So anyway, that's it for tonight on this question that was viewer prompted. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much. Good night. Hadn't really prepared something for an afterword. Let's see. I love stained glass. In fact, I learned how to make it. Never was very talented at it, but I did enjoy the hobby. It's an expensive hobby, so I didn't keep up with it like I have some of my other interests and hobbies. I love to travel. I love road trips, and I really, really am sad that road trips in my own vehicle can't happen right now because the Canadian border is closed to me since I'm not vaccinated. So those are a few more little personal nuggets so you can get to know me. Oh, one other thing. I wanted to explain something. I purposely have a background. This is my living area. It's not, it is where my living space, and I will always try to show you in the background where I'm at, whether it's if I'm on the road, if I'm in a hotel. I'm going to be in an Airbnb this fall when I visit my daughter, and I'll be doing videos from there, and I'll just have that background. If the only time I'll obscure the background is if there are people and I'm trying to protect their privacy. And that's just part of me trying to be genuine. I can't be young, I can't be beautiful, but I can be real. And that's what I'm trying to be for you. That's it for tonight. Till next time, stay safe. Good night.